Well, Trent, I guess just what made MSU kind of the right fit for you, and just
One of the some of the details that stood out to me was the defense they run here. Also, we're part of the same coaching tree. A couple years ago, one of my guys, Freddie Banks, worked here, and he did a great job here. So I was excited about coming to this place.
is there anything Freddie told you about this place?
Uh, Nothing in particular. I'll say this: like when I worked at University of Nevada, I watched a video of the rivalry game versus Montana State, and I seen the crowd, and I was like, "Wow, that's an amazing crowd. It'll be loud to really coach in that stadium." Fast forward, I'm here a couple years later.
What is the corner group kind of look like so far?
It's a young, talented group. One thing I got to say about these guys, they're eager, they're excited to learn, they come ready to work every single day. Really, I just got to do a great job, continue to develop these young men.
The defensive coaching staff, there was a lot of return, even though there was a shift. I guess how is it meshing with the staff?
The staff is meshing well. One of the big positives that I work with Coach Shep at Syracuse University, actually running the same defensive system. So we got a lot of camaraderie in the room already. Even though I'm the new guy, it doesn't feel like it. It feel like a family. So
What was it like reuniting with Chef here?
can you ask the question again?
What was it like just reuniting with Chef here?
Oh, it was great. You know, me and Shep, we got a tight brotherhood, so we talked a lot. Even when I was at the different spots I was at, we'll always call, communicate with each other, give each other some pointers on coaching and the philosophy, and also the updates within our defensive system.
What stands out most? You said you like the way they play defense here. What stands out the most about the defensive scheme?
Well, I'll say this: like the scheme here is the same I played in 2015. I think just the Tampa 2 defensive system is versatile, allows you to be very aggressive. But really, I would say this: like players matter, and the players here kind of remind me of when I was a player at BG, tight knit brotherhood, and just the way they play. They play with a high level of belief, and on top of that, like the coaching staff got these guys very inspired to play the game at a high level.
What do you think of the Montana weather now?
Honestly, I love it. I'm embracing the snow, and I'll say this: like one of the positives playing at BG, playing in the MAC. I played in the cold weather. Also went to grad school at Syracuse University, Nevada. A couple different stops where I'm actually used to the cold weather. I'm just really fully embracing it.
Who are kind of the corners who stood out most so far this spring?
Well, I would say like it's hard to say one particular player stood out the most. I would say at different times, each one of these guys have shined. And I would say this like the most encouraging thing is just their effort from the group and also their brotherhood, even in competition, pushing each other on and off the field. So I got to give a big ups to the entire group.
What did you like most about being a corner coach here? Why did those corners kind of the position that you ended up landing?
Really, well, I'll say like me having an opportunity to be the cornerback coach here. It came about, I interviewed for the job. I feel like, I did a great job. Of course, luckily I got a job. So from here, just really it's about the opportunity to develop knowledge, skill, and attitude for these gentlemen. And as you know, in this coaching profession, it's not about the coaches, it's more about the players and their overall development as people and as football players as well.
What you saw on Saturday in the scrimmage to the spring game this week, what do you forward to as far as what the corners are? What do you want to see out of them?
I really want to see these guys play tight man coverage and also really a lot of ball disruptions, attacking the ball, whether it's a shot at the ball, trying to force a takeaway, PBUs, interceptions, just playing an exciting brand of football that challenges route. When we have opportunity to play man coverage, I want to see these guys get up, play press to press. When we play off man, mirror, breaks, just playing very with excitement and enthusiasm, really setting the tone for the defense. So.
From the national title game last year, what was something, if anything, that you saw that you felt like you could bring here to improve on those?
Well, I'll say schematically, we got some details that we talked about just improving overall as a defense. And we'll see those hints come in this season. But at the end of the day, it's really not about me. It's really about the group and the coaching staff we got. I'm excited to work with Coach Howe, the defensive coordinator. He's doing some great things. He has an open mind and really pushing the standard for the group to improve on details from last season, even though they already played great defense last season.
How would you kind of describe your coaching style, and I guess just your approach?
I would describe my coaching style as like cooperative. My entire goal is really to develop these guys on and off the field. So when they out there in real time, they able to make decisions. So kind of like the old school model of like bang, bang, bang. I'm not always yelling at these guys. Sometimes it's just a conversation and really developing a situational football. So if you want to play football for me, I'll say this: like you gotta love the game because it's going to be very demanding in that you understand the details of receiver distribution, the splits, of route concepts, why they run a certain route concept, the route concept families, all these kind of details like this, situational football, the different areas of the field and how the offense is going to adjust, how the defense is going to adjust. All this kind of information like this, it's demanded that these guys know this information. Well, I'm wearing the hat because I don't have a haircut.
I'm just saying about that.
Yeah, I like this hat too.
Is there anything particular that makes you want to get into coaching?
Man, so that's a great question. So really, I feel like my journey of coaching, I think it began in my youth. Just the excitement. I'm from South Florida. If everybody, of course, probably don't know that, but growing up in South Florida, everything is about the game of football. This game of football saved my life. It took me from like project apartments, really taking me all the way to Bowling Green, to Syracuse, and my journey across the United States. So I used to also watch those NFL documents. I was obsessed with this kind of stuff as a kid. I would say like one day if I live life the right way, I could have my own football life. So that'd be great.
What impact does a guy like Brian Ward?
Man, Coach Ward. I would describe Coach Ward as almost like a parent to me, and I just say that because like our connection is more than just player coach. Actually, I met him in 2015 as a defensive coordinator at Syracuse, at Bowling Green State University. He gave me my first opportunity in coaching at Syracuse University, and from there we went from Nevada to Washington State to Arizona State, really building a brotherhood and growing together. So, what would I say about Coach Ward? I'll say he one of the greatest men I ever met, and hopefully one day, we reconnect and let's take it to the top. And I really want to see him take it to the top as well too. See him in the Hall of Fame level as a coach, and really Hall of Fame level as a man.
Anything particular you learned from him?
Man, that's a loaded question. I'll tell you like this. I'll say the main thing that I learned from Coach Ward is like being a great man on and off the field, and really is deeper than just a game of football. It's about being a great person, and really having an impact on the youth as well.
Anything you can take from your playing days at BG kind of to your different coaching time?
Yeah, so my time at BG, I had several different coaches, a lot of great coaches. It's hard to name them, but really, the first head coach I had, Dave Clawson, he's about structure. Structure was everything underneath him, and I feel like that helped mold my mindset of you got to be detail oriented. There was no yawning in our weight room. It was an intense environment. To Dino Baber's life lessons about being a man and really just being a great person as well too. Faith family football. So I'll say like all the lessons I learned, and I played linebacker as well. Linebacker kind of give you a good gauge of the D line. Also, linebacker played in coaching safeties and then corners, really completing the entire defensive picture in my brain. And one thing for sure I'll say as a coach is that your eyes begin to change when you coach different positions. You're able to see it from a different perspective. So I'll say this: my time as a player, it has stacked reps on top of my coaching career.
Anything about just, I guess, being a former walk-on and just kind of working your way up to that you can kind of let us know?
Yeah, 100%. It's like my college career was really built on grit. So, I say I was a really good high school football player, but really the discipline, like you said, to be a walk on, to be the person that people probably push to the back, really the grit that it takes to be able to push forward. It's the same grit that it takes in life. Sometimes you'll be the main guy, sometimes you won't. And when you get your opportunity, you better be ready to shine. And, when I had my opportunity as a player, I feel like I did some real positive things for the program, really pushing it forward.
Been at a bunch of different stops, high school level and obviously colleges with Coach Ward. I guess how does all that experience at different schools kind of help you?
Man, it's like I said, one of the biggest blessings for me is that I switched positions. So it changed my eyes of the game and also my understanding of the game as well too. So I could really talk in detail about several different position groups and also the eyes and the progression for these players to get better. So this is one thing I would say like I took from all that time at different places. Also, man, this one thing about coaching is that you got an opportunity to be around a lot of great men and a lot of great leaderships. And I'll say like different learning styles from players, all right, different teaching style from coaches. You learn from all these kind of details if you're paying attention and you live in life the right way.